And we are back, ladies, gentlemen, and MVs, for the start of our Valpo NECC Semifinals Varsity Overwatch here at Valpo Esports. I'm your host, Diadem. I'm here with my co-host.
RJ. And we are going into our first map for today. We are going to be starting with Control with Samoa, going for best of 5 like normal. Best of 7 will be for, I believe, the finals game. So finals game or going for third place, which is basically what Valpo is fighting for right now. If they win this match, they're going to be going for first or second place in 2 weeks, and if they don't, they will be going for third or fourth.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, got to run the gauntlet to be able to make it to that spot in first. Going against GCU today, right? We talked about very strong team, performing extremely, extremely well over these last couple of games. And hopefully, Valpo going to be able to pull out a little bit of an upset here, right? So looking at just comps, obviously doing the rollout with Symmetra, but we have May. I have the voice line in my ear that's literally spamming me and I can't talk. But
Okay, but Seize the Soul is very funny.
Seize the Soul is hilarious. Don't worry. But yeah, we're throwing in we got Malga on his own map, right? It's almost poetic, but
Yep.
going with the Malga, going with the May Reaper, and immediately the hook on the side, Atlas is gonna fall, and now pushed in from the side. Fusik's gonna have to try and cover a little bit of ground in the front there, but GCU is gonna have very first push, especially with that pick. The hook doesn't fall as well, and Fusik is just gonna walk to this back line. They do isolate this Roadhog, but it's not gonna be enough. One falls in the back line as well. Like a Bus has to back up. Fusik gonna just try and run out. The healing's huge, but the hook is giant.
Yep,
Ooh.
this Roadhog has been hitting almost every single hook consistently, getting at least 3 out with that hook specifically. Atlas is going to be falling, and so is Fusik, and that is the second death for Atlas going into this, and GCSU has already taken this that fight. One thing I do want to point out, though, is GCSU is going to be the first seed going into this. So
Yep.
Valpo is in for a tough fight regardless.
Yeah, definitely. Fighting an uphill battle here, right? But hopefully Valpo going to be able to show something new. Just kind of stick to what's been working too, because Fusik walking up in this front line, right? We haven't seen a lot of Malga, at least recently, but I like the pick. right? I think it just
Yeah.
offers a lot of space. It's just Valpo kind of got caught out with those hooks early,
Hmm.
swung a lot of those fights, and you see the flank immediately. Atlas is going to fall as well, and Valpo's kind of stuck in a rough spot here. Lucio being fallen to the back line, not going to go down though, as only one has fallen on the side of Valpo. You're still fighting, but you're in a really awkward spot on this top side. Fusic is going to jump back in, excuse me.
Yep, they're going to be able to take down one support, but CQ9 goes down as well. This Hog has just been kind of getting its way, and Kirakuki goes down as well. Fusic is left alone, forced to back up. So one of the things that I know you mentioned about not seeing a Malga lately, and that's because Malga actually recently got buffed, whether we think we like it or not.
Gotcha.
So this has actually shifted the meta quite a lot right now. I do like Valpo's comp idea right here, going for the Brig. Instead of the Ana, I think it might work better for them in the long run, but Fusic is taking a lot of damage, and Kirakuki is already down, getting pulsed.
Yeah, just getting caught up in the side there. Valpo can't really find their footing in any of these fights right now. It feels like a lot of these pushes are, getting the hook, right? Obviously, GCU playing a pretty strong pick comp, right? You have the Tracer, you have the Roadhog, excuse me. So these really, really early deaths are making it rough, and you're going to see Fusic immediately jump to this backline as well. There goes the beam out coming as well. Fusic jumping onto this point. He's getting shredded out a little bit.
To hit these E.
Yep, Bob's hit there. And now you're at 93%. You just need a little bit more ult chalk. You're going to be able to take out Bob, but Reaper gets pulled in as well. You're going to take out one, though. Kirakuki finishes off Tracer on the backline, so it is still a 4v4 here. You're fighting on this point. You're holding this Malga ult. You're still in an okay spot, but you have to make sure GCU doesn't pull out a couple of more ults. Kirakuki in this backline here, just soloing out this Ashe. Able to find that kill. Atlas finds a second one as well, and that's going to be Valpo's first one fight of this match. Although Atlas falls, you did push him enough off point to recap that at 99%.
Yep, this is going to be a tough fight going into it. Valpo is going to be sitting with about 4 ults going in, but we are going to be potentially looking for another pulse soon from Tracer from GSU, as well as 3 other additional ults, multiple of which combined together will just do a serious amount of work. That Gates and Roadhog will definitely be able to help secure the fight for GSU if they take it.
Yeah, definitely. You're seeing just pushing up, getting a little bit of advantage. You have a lot of disruption on the side of Valpo, especially because you're seeing Roadhog kind of getting put in that bounce house here initially, just trying to play with the spacing a little bit. But now, going to be able to push back. There's the gates open for the side of GCU, and they're going to push up to this top, and there's the Malga ult. But oh my goodness, the pulse bomb is huge. Everybody's falling on Valpo, but like a bus, going to pretty much just have to be left to ult this, but not going to find the space. Everyone down on the side of Valpo, overtime ticking away, and that's going to be first point of map 1 going to GCU.
Yep, that was the ult combo I was thinking of right away with the gates in the Roadhog ult. Both of those two combined together will just help start pushing the entire team away, and Fusic was forced to early cage, but like I mentioned earlier, the Tracer just was able to get back very quickly and get that pulse bomb and be able to get a huge pulse off.
Yeah, I mean, almost like a jump scare push. You have the gates open, you blink, and then 2 seconds, 3 people on the side of Valpo are dead. So, obviously, gotta play with the momentum a little bit here, right? Completely reset, got a brand new point to play at, and a couple of swaps on the comp side. So, obviously, Aubrey, what are we looking at here?
So we're just seeing these sim swaps just for changes, just to get TP, because they want to be getting in there fast and quick. So we are seeing a swap off of the Malga right now, going to be going for a D.Va, and I don't actually hate this. Going to try and eat as many of those hooks as possible, as that's the real thing that's been catching Valpo off ground right now. Just going to be doing a lot of damage, but Omni going down for GCU, and that's going to be a huge pick for them, forcing them to back up going in, but Fusic is going to be taking huge amounts of damage getting hooked in the process.
Yeah, this D.Va pick is huge. You see just the backline dive potential of D.Va, and then being able to cover with Matrix for your teams, especially after getting hooked. Getting pulled in a little bit there, but Valpo has such good control of the point right now that any space that they gain here is in their favor, even if you take a little bit of damage for it. But a death is not that nice, because Like a Bus will fall to the first hook from Remington, and now GCU is on their first push. They're going to be looking to wrap around a little bit here, try to cut off their spawn, play for this objective. Omni picks up the other kill on Atlas. Both the DPS are down. One support's down for the side of Valpo. All this stuff is Fusic and Like a Bus pushing back to the side as Kirakuki falls, and that's going to be a pushback. 25% still gained on the point, so not the worst.
Not the worst. Good push for Valpo, getting that early pick, forcing them to back up and get that early percentage lead is really what's going to help Valpo in the end there. Even if they're not able to cap until the very end, again, they'll still have a much better chance than they did last game.
Yep, you gotta be careful. No Wraith mode right there. It's gonna be rough just face checking that Roadhog. Again, another pick there. Fusik's gonna be able to trade one, but the pulse bomb in the back is huge again. Elaine finds another pulse bomb multi-kill and just shuts down Valpo's push.
Yeah, this Tracer's been finding a lot of multi-kills lately with this pulse bomb, and multiple times it's been the supports. So one of the things that I've noticed a lot from Varsity is just the need for the supports to play together. And this can be really dangerous, but also really good. Like with the Tracer and the pulse bomb, it's not very good for them, especially when things go sideways. So Valpo going to have to try and play a lot safer. But we are seeing the same two ult combination coming out. Valpo is going to be forced off point, not going to be able to retake it. A little bit more with like a bus falling as well, Atlas falling as well. Valpo is just going to have to back up, getting a little bit of percent, but not really a lot.
Yeah, no, just pushing to this backline. GCU kind of pulling the trigger a little bit too quick for Valpo to react to. You were able to matrix a lot of the Roadhog, but the displacement already kind of went through. So just being split up, you do lose. The nice thing is, though, you did lose that combo for the side of GCU pretty early, and you are still sitting on a lot of your ults. You don't have Beam, but there's Kirakuki popping ult, and now you're walking up to this side. You have your chance to retake here. The Matrix is going to be huge, blocking a lot of damage, still pushing to this back line. Atlas does get pulled to the side, has Wraith mode to be able to back right back out. Now just walking back. The speed boost is going to be huge, and Valpo took objective again. So you're at 45%, you're ticking, you still have a lot of ults to play with, but you don't have any supports, although Atlas falls. Oh, the bounce, trying to just bounce there like a bus stuck in the middle, has to just roll back out, not going to be able to take that shot.
Honestly,
and now,
I don't even hate that play as much as other people may. Being able to use that, but Fusik is not going to get the remech going into it. Was taking out mech, and that's going to be forcing Valpo not really to be able to do it, and Kirakuki is going to go down. Valpo is most likely not going to be able to get a recontest because of this, because not only that, we do have a pulse bomb on the field, and with Elaine's record right now, not looking for a good one right there.
Yeah, it's scary. You're giving a 3-point shot to Steph Curry over here with the pulse bombs. It's getting a little bit rough because the pull in right there. And pulse bomb finds one in the back, life bus falls, but you are still on this point. There's the speed boost as well. You're waiting for this Roadhog to time out, and there's the ult, but it's not going to be enough damage. Just gets shredded with the gates instantly, and nobody's left on point. Valpo going to fall for this very first map of this series.
That was a lot better of a fight from Valpo, though. I will have to admit that. Going to be able to take a lot more ground and be able to take more of that value from GCU that they weren't able to. But we're actually seeing a Kiri play of the game. Not what I was expecting. Never mind. This is gonna be it.
Yeah. We see why the play happened. But definitely it was kind of that very, very snap engage that you were looking for. Valpo obviously not being ready for it, falling in the first map, and that's kind of the tempo we expected from GCU coming out of this series. Didn't expect anything less from the 1 seed, but the nice thing is we saw this in our series yesterday with Rocket League. You lose the first very map, you still have a lot of time to at least make adjustments, make changes, and move on. And plus, best thing about Overwatch is when you move into these game twos, you got a brand new map, right? You got a brand new objective, different timers, different ways to play. So it might just open up some new opportunities for Valpo to come back.
Valpo's got a lot of opportunity right here. They just got to reset their mindset. Like I say all the time, mindset is a very important part of this, and it's even more important now. Valpo's just going to need to try and reset, relocate, while GCU is going to be trying to focus on getting that momentum and keep building it up.
Yep, definitely. So we are going to take a slight break in the booth here, and we will catch you guys at the start of map 2 of this series. And we are back, ladies, gentlemen, and Ebbies, for the start of this Valpo NECC semifinals versus Grand Canyon University. We're moving into map 2 here. We're moving into Rialto, getting a brand new scenery, brand new change of pace, and hopefully brand new team comp here from Valpo.
Yep, so we're going to be running an interesting, similar team comp to what we ran for the last point of control. We're going to be seeing a Mei, though, and we're also going to be seeing a Hanzo as our main two swaps, with our supports mostly remaining the same. So I do really like a bus on the Hanzo, going to be able to do a fair amount of work. Hanzo's been pretty good lately, especially with his ult getting a massive boost. Being able to take down anything, like turret-wise, or any like inanimate objects as well. So also seeing a little bit of a change up from GCU as well. We are seeing a Life Weaver coming on, and as well as an Ashe, but that is going to
Nice
be a
Mei
nice
wall.
wall with healing
Huge.
going out in the first swing. Valpo is going to be doing a fairly decent job forcing the Roadhog to back up and going to be going after the Ashe, and this is potentially going to, but Life Grip is going to do it, but Kiri is caught out in the open, and Fusic is going to continue diving for these supports, for the tank, and just putting constant pressure on them. And Atlas going to use his wall as a way to get back up to high ground. Not going to be able to, but going to have to try and just continue to keep this Roadhog away from point. And Valpo is doing a great job right now with Omni going down yet again. A lot of staggering right now, but the Tracer is going into the backline for Valpo with getting a support down. Valpo is down their first support, first player, CQ9 going down. But can they take this point right here? This is going to be the main thing right going into it. Both teams are down one, but that is going to be a risky battle. Fusic going to be able to, but Fusic's going to jump off and just reset the map first thing first.
Yep, definitely. Already this close to checkpoint, right? Why not give any extra ult charge? Just jump off the map, be able to reset with your team, let them try to use whatever they want. Be able to take a little bit of a breather here. You didn't grab the checkpoint, but you're so close that they can't really play with that high ground choke point that you usually associate with this first map.
They have about 2 minutes to try and get this back to the checkpoint, try and keep pushing them back. And with what Valpo has been really successful at doing, they're going to be able to get that continue. If they continue up on this push gameplay, so that they're pushing up that top gameplay and the top level and trying to get those early picks, especially on the Ashe, who tends to be out of position a lot. But we do see Fusic eating a nice pulse bomb, but forced to drop down a little bit early. Might have to use bomb here depending on what this ult is going to look like. We are seeing a Bob ult on the play, going to be forced, taking down CQ9, taking down Like a Boss, but GCU responds with their own ult, going to be able to take it down. And that is 3 ults used from GCU with a single ult used for Valpo. So looking in a pretty good place right now.
I think Bob has aimbot. He picked up 3 of those kills. I think Bob's cheating. I think we gotta check Bob's PC after this game. It's a bit unfair, but no. GCU just holding up the ults, getting split out a little bit there with the disruption, not being able to push in with Fusic dropping early. So, Valpo, it's alright. You're still in an okay spot. You got DPS. You still have a mech reset as well. So, you're actually in a pretty okay spot. You're gonna have to use this Mei early, but Like a Bus still creating a little bit of pressure. Spotted out that spotted out that Tracer while in transition to walk forward on this point. That's why I was trying to say that. Where did that wall go?
Yep, that was a nice Life Weaver flip, and going to be able to take it down, and that is going to be destroying it. That is going to destroy almost the entirety of Tree. Nice use there. Might be a little late though, but Valpo is still hanging on with dear life. Going after Like a Bus is kind of trapped out right there, but both DPS going down for Valpo. Going to be trying to get this, using the Brig ult to get back in, and they're going to try and use as many ults as they can, but Kier Kuki is also going down, and both Fusic and CQ9 are forced to back up.
Yeah, it's just a deadlock right here for this Valpo team. Not going to be able to break past this point here. Another death and 10 seconds left. You are past the 5-point right now, so it's a little bit rough. You just got to be able to push back up. Fusic's still on the point, still having to just cover a little bit here. Overtime chipped out. Now you're going to walk back onto this point, right? But GCU is not going to let that happen.
Yep.
Immediately the pull, not having the Matrix, going to get knocked out of mech here as well. Dashing into the side, Atlas still being able to almost get a pick here on the back, but the Suzu is going to be huge. Still pushing back to the side.
Oh,
They're
but
going to
that
trade
is a
one, but
tank.
two got down. Fusic picks up two, but that's two, another falling for Valpo. All that's left is Fusic and CQ9 just hanging on to this point here,
Valpo is
trying
in
to
a
get
very
anything.
good spot right now, though. Going to be able to just main goal right now is to take down the Kiri and just have
Nice.
the Tracer follow suit. They're going to have to stay here, going to be taking it, and Valpo
Nice.
is going to. But there's the Hog going to
Oh
be coming
no, the
back.
pull off
Not getting
point!
it in,
The
and
pull off point!
CQ. Oh, C9.
Oh. Oh, it feels so bad. It was like 0.18 away from checkpoint. CQ9 backed up because obviously Fusic was
No,
on point, and then
CQ9 got booped off.
oh, he got booped off. Okay.
Yep. So the
I
Lucio came up front,
Yeah, I
booped
didn't
off
see the Lucio.
CQ9,
That's my bad.
and the Roadhog hooked Diva off
Yeah, that's
on point,
crazy.
and
That's
that was
crazy.
enough to C9.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, can we even call it a C9 if it wasn't unintentional? Because that was definitely just GCU playing the
It
space
was
well.
a
Like
very good one, but I think it technically counts as a C9. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it might still count as a C9.
either way, craziest hold I've seen in a while. Definitely not
Yes.
what we expected out of GCU, especially coming out of that very, very first strong push from Valpo, but not going to be able to snowball it into anything really meaningful. Still only playing with one objective here.
Yeah, their Tracer and Kiri were able to hold on to that point for quite a long time. Just being able to hold them and stall them out, even against a Diva and a Juno, which is a devastating combo to still be alive in a 2v2.
Yep, definitely. So now Valpo trying to just set up. We gotta see what they want to run with this comp. Obviously, you got the Cassidy for a little bit of that high range poke. You have the Diva that's been working against Roadhog, at least considerably well, and swapping up with the Ana as well to be able to kind of supplement that long range that you're playing with.
I do like the swap to the Tracer, and I like the swap to the Cass as well as the Ana off the Brig. So both of these characters, both the Tracer and the Cass will be able to help deal with anything that happens. Going to be able to, but not going to get that nade. Force it back in, and Fusic is going to be taking loads of damage right here. Going to be just struggling to try and get anything, but going to be forcing them to fall down. Atlas going to be trying to take this Tracer 1v1, but the Hog is going to help join in and take this fight. But Elaine going down, so both Tracers down in this fight. Valpo is just going to be sitting here, but Fusic is already out of mech. This is not looking too good for Valpo as they're forced to stay back just due to the supports that they chose. But there's not really much else you can do because that Ana is almost entirely needed just because of the Hog. And Atlas playing a really good job trying to keep it off, but just going to be able to have to...
Oh my goodness.
Hog from Narnia.
Yeah.
Valpo is going to be forced to touch in just a short few seconds. Valpo is going to be in a rough position, and they're forced to touch right now. Going to be trying to get as much as they can. CQ9 trying to keep Fusic alive for as long as possible right here. That everything putting in just lots of work, going to try and keep as much as possible, but sitting on that point, Fusic getting out of mech, CQ9 like a bus, and are all down, and that is going to be barely enough. Only one person from Valpo still on the point. Atlas going to be the last person remaining on point, but Kiriko is going to take that headshot, and GCU takes second game,
Yeah.
match.
Really, really quick second match there. Obviously, GCU being able to play with that momentum, but just it's disgusting. The Roadhog is disgusting right now. I can't lie. This guy's putting on a clinic right now with these hooks. Some of them are just nasty, and we're seeing obviously there's no need to swap off it because Valpo still hasn't really found an answer to it. As we're seeing the play of the game with that Roadhog specifically on this point, that very very last hold.
The Roadhog did. The Roadhog has just been pulling out a lot of work for GCU right now. Valpo's not really knowing what the counters are, trying to find those trying to use those counters.
Yep.
I would be interested. I I don't know. It could be a strong shot as we are going into push. I would be interested in seeing a Bastion maybe to help try and melt it. Maybe a Zen too, but for a little bit more of that damage, a little more survivability potentially. having a way to melt it.
Yeah, and I mean Bastion has a pretty good health pool as well, right? So, facing different things like the Tracer, that kind of melting damage can at least sustain out a little bit. But we got to see what Valpo wants to do going into this map because obviously you're down 0-2 in this series. This is a best of 5, so you are in sudden death now. So you gotta win out or go home from now. So hopefully not taking that second option, but we will catch you guys at the start of map 3 of this next series. And we are back, ladies, gentlemen, and MBs, for the start of our Map 3 of this Valpo Esports NECC Semifinals Varsity Overwatch versus Grand Canyon University. GCU being up 2-0 in the series right now, and we are moving on to potentially our sudden death map here on Push.
Yep, this is going to be a rough match for Valpo right here. Going to be looking for that reverse 3. Reverse 3-2, and just going to be trying to do as much as they can. Going back to the Malga, but we are sticking the cast for the Tracer, as the Tracer's been getting a lot of value off lately. Just going to be trying to find this in the background. Fusic going to be taking huge amounts of damage, but still doesn't have to use his E. Unfortunately, like a bus, and Fusic falling down right then and there, and Valpo is forced to... Valpo is going to be forced to back up and die right here, but both supports going down at the same time, meaning they are not staggered with they're staying with our Reaper.
Yep. Pretty rough right there, but GCU gonna take very first point. Obviously, with a lot of the push maps, I realized it's kind of similar design, which is especially around these first bends, it gives the defending team a lot of high ground to play with, right? A lot of different angles. So Valpo still has an opportunity to find kind of GCU off guard, but it looks like they're just gonna walk up with this Roadhog. You kind of have this pressure now, especially with the situation and context that we're in, being 0-2 against Roadhog both games, right? It's menacing to be able to stare this dude down. So you really have to play with these timers, but Fusic just miscalculating kind of that damage up front. Atlas going down to 15 as well, not really finding anything up there, just getting picked off, and Valpo's going to have to pick up again.
Yeah, Valpo is forced to back up, going to be taking this thing, but I don't think anyone's getting out. Kirakuki going to going to die pretty quickly right there. Elaine going down. Valpo is going to be going up 1-up in this next thing, but GCU has gotten checkpoint. Ooh. Getting the Lucio, this is going to be a pretty good look. The Roadhog is completely separated too.
Yeah, you have the burn.
So going to be looking for a fair amount of this. Roadhog going down. Valpo is not needing to use a ult for this one. Like a bus, also swapping to the Ash for a counter, and just going to be going in, trying to get a few more picks, trying to get a few staggers out, but not able to find anything.
Yeah, I like that, right? Obviously, you get the first couple of picks, you take advantage on that point, trying to look for that stagger, and now you're at a great spot kind of pushing up on this side. You didn't get much progress, right? So Valpo's still in an okay spot. Roadhog is back now, so you got to see how they want to try and play this map. And you're going to walk up with Malga, try and just shred. Roadhog falling extremely low there, but going to slam in this backline now that you don't have that pressure. Trying to just use that healing. The burn's going to be huge. They're going to trade 2 for 1, though. Valpo is advantaged. Fusic falls as well. Or excuse me, Fusic gets a kill as well. Elaine still in that backline, almost falling. Valpo wins another fight here. Malga not going to be able to fight over that ledge there.
Yeah,
but,
that was a really good fight for Valpo, being able to trade Ray and Pulse Bomb. Though Pulse Bomb is a faster building ult, just using Ray is a very good addition for Valpo. Finding that ability to just keep moving and keep going. I'm going to see Elaine going for CQ9 right now, though. Going to be the easiest person to try and catch out right now, and just going to be trying to keep that. But we are going to be seeing a fair amount of ults. Valpo forced to back up a little bit, give a little bit of space, not getting the checkpoint, but not really the much you can do.
There's the ult. They immediately open the gates as well, and there's the beat drop coming in. Beat drop, Roadhog, although Like a Bus pops the ult in the back, or excuse me, Atlas pops the ult in the back line, not going to be able to find it, gets pushed off by Roadhog. Like a Bus is going to be able to trade 1 kill. Remington's going to hit it right back. GCU takes advantage of this point here. CQ9 falling low and falling down. Valpo now at a disadvantage, just going to have to back up, give that point a little bit. You blew a lot of ultimates, and just immediately one shot right there. Lucio and Roadhog coming in with the damage.
Valpo blowing 3 ultimates, but to be fair, GCU did also use 3 ultimates right now, so we're mainly looking at a mirror of 2 ults coming up on both sides for Valpo and GCU, but this is getting close. Valpo is trying to pull this back as much as they can, sharing as much as they can, just going to be trying to keep it in. Fusic trying to stay alive, but Like a Bus going down, Kirakuki also going down, and that is going to be Bob on the play. Valpo won't have an ult to counter it with. CQ9 is taking loads of damage, Fusic down, CQ9 is forced to back up. And CQ9 is going to fall as well, going to be massively staggered as well.
Yeah, it's rough. That Bob was huge, but it's just knocking Valpo down one by one. We have our own Bob coming up here, right, in about like 1 or 2 shots. So you will have that for this final hold, but as they're approaching this checkpoint, as they're approaching this objective, Valpo definitely on
overhead.
their back legs right now.
Valpo's gonna need to use this Bob soon just to be able to get as much value as they can. But like a
Sure.
bus falling down, they know he has that Bob. Going to be forced to back up yet again. Atlas falling once more, and
Whew.
TQ9 is going to be hooked from Marnia and just going to be forced. Valpo forced to back up yet again. Valpo is going to be sitting a little bit pretty with these ults, but Atlas is not able to get off the Wraith and dies immediately. Valpo in a rough position, like a bus falling yet again, getting another Ray off, going to just have to try and sit in the Ray, get as much value as you can. Fusic going to try and pull off as much. The main thing that needs to die right now is the hook, the hog. But that is CQ9, Kirakuki both falling down. Fusic is the only thing left there. It was a Bob on play, but not much going to. Fusic going to be falling down almost immediately. Atlas going to be able to unable to touch or able to do anything. Kirakuki tries to touch, but that's game.
And a bit of a tragic loss there, finishing out this series. But obviously, not the full story of this Valpo Overwatch varsity team. Playing extremely well with the new roster as well going into this year, and obviously still having one more semester. But that will finish it off for NECC as we see the final play here from Remington, who was playing spectacularly this whole series, right? You have to give credit to this GCU team. Definitely earned that win, kind of pulled that out of the deep there. So,
Yeah. GCU, Valpo both did very good jobs. GCU just having a stronger team comp and being able to use alt to their advantage and keeping track of alts. Really what happened.
yep.
But don't lose all hope yet, as the Valpo Overwatch team is going to still be able to potentially get third place. So we will be seeing one more match coming up on the 6th of December. So make sure to tune into that one, and also tune into the finals where Rocket League is going to potentially be competing for first place.
Yeah, no. Either way, although obviously you fell today, we have two shots here at Valpo Esports to be landed on that podium, right? First place and third place. And personally, us here in the booth, we are extremely excited for that. So thank you guys for all the likes, follows, supports, all the comments. We appreciate all the engagement you guys are running from us. I've been your host, Diadem. This was my co-host.
RJ.
And we will see you guys on the next stream.